Good morning, sports fans. Louis Diamond in our Las Vegas handicapping studios. You are watching BettorCenter Live, and I'm filling in for Brad Stein, who could not be with us today, unfortunately, because I had some things to rub in his face. So, because I learned some things this weekend, and we're going to talk about that here in a second. But first, let me introduce the two trusted handicappers that are back with us after a little time off this week, Mr. Ross Benjamin and Mr. Chip Chirimbes. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning, Louis.
Morning, Louis.
How you guys doing? It's been a while. Did you guys have a great holiday?
I haven't can't say.
Oh, yeah? Here we go. Obviously, we're starting the show with a little bit of technical difficulties, but so I will just get us right into what I learned yesterday. Ross and Chip, we know that Brad was very high on Mr. Gruden from the beginning of the season. I learned Mr. Gruden is who I thought he was. He is not a winning NFL coach, and he's proven that. He was given a team by Mr. Dungy decades ago, and he's been riding that little one-trick pony ever since. So I learned that. I learned that Baker Mayfield, another one Brad was high on, is who we thought he was. He couldn't even beat the Jets. And last but not least, our man on the street, Tony Cusimano, Jaguars money line. Oh, he is who we thought he was. So those are the things that I learned here this weekend, gentlemen. How about you, Ross? What did you learn this weekend?
Not a heck of a lot. Coming off a great weekend at BettorCenter.com, by the way. I went 7-3 with my picks. And I learned, I guess, if anything, just because a team needs a game does not necessarily mean they're going to win or cover. All you have to look at is a couple games that were played over the weekend. Arizona desperately needed a win over San Fran, who's not going to be in the postseason, and they couldn't come through. They get beat at home. And then also the Las Vegas Raiders, who, again, they had an opportunity to win that game against Miami. They didn't, but they did cover against a team who needed the game more. And then finally, the Cleveland Browns and New York Jets. Inexcusable for Cleveland to lose that game in that situation, even though they do have an excuse with the forward wide receivers that were out due to COVID-19. But in any event, their running game alone should have been able to win that game against the Jets, and they didn't have to do so. So, again, you got three teams there that needed the games more for playoff implications, and they didn't come through as either winning straight up or covering.
Yes, Baker Mayfield, you know what? He may not have had receivers, but even when he had open receivers yesterday, he wasn't doing the job either. So you can't blame it on that. And at the end of the day, if you're going to be a leader, be a leader. So, Chip, what did you learn yesterday?
I learned, like you said, Louis, that Mr. Gruden isn't as smart as we give him credit. I mean, it makes sense to me that you cut the field down by 40 yards by allowing the opposition to beat you with a field goal, as opposed to forcing them with a little bit more time to go all the way down and have to score a touchdown. These decisions that these coaches are making in the NFL now, where they don't score and they try to manipulate the clock, have been backfiring on them. When there's 19 seconds to go in the half or the game, the opposition still manages to score. And Gruden made a huge error not taking the touchdown, taking the field goal to go up by 2, to reduce the field for the opposition, where you can kick a field goal from the 50-yard line, but you can't score a touchdown unless you get into the end zone. So I think that was a bonehead play by Gruden this weekend.
Yeah, you are not the only one on that train here. And, and Gruden, he's doubled down on it, saying that, he would do it again. It's still kind of a tough, because I guess there hasn't been enough sample size to really know what a true number is. But you got the touchdown. Have a little faith in your defense because you got the field goal, and your defense had to still go out on the field. And, you pretty much, told them you didn't have faith in them, and look what happened. So some dramatic changes. So basketball has been started and actually been doing well. The NBA has started. I hit a nice little round robin on Saturday. Left it alone. I got a nice round robin going here today that if you want to be a part of, I got a free basketball play out there at BettorCenter.com. So feel free to subscribe or stop by BettorCenter.com for that free basketball play here today. But one game on the board that's really mean that's that in the football schedule, and it is fairly meaningful for these Buffalo Bills because if they want to keep that number 2 seed in the playoffs, they're going to have to continue to win. So now they face their ultimate nemesis, and they get to put them totally to bed, even though they are to bed for the playoffs with the Patriots. The Bills, a sweep against the Patriots, that would be some pretty big news on top of the fact that they can continue to keep the 2nd seed. So Ross, big Buffalo guy as well, or Rochester guy, but Buffalo fan. So what are your thoughts on the Bills tonight? Are they going to be asleep at the wheel and after clinching the division, or are they actually going to parlay that success into just really driving the Patriots in their coffin this season?
Yeah, I've been waiting to say this for 25 years, but New England is a mess right now. Anyway, look, a lot of money has gone down on Buffalo. And that line has stayed basically the same as Buffalo continues to be a 7-point favorite, even though that the money and the volume of bets have gone up on Buffalo considerably since the opening line came out. So again, I'd be hesitant to lay the points in this situation. Another one of those games that, just because a team needs it more and the other team's out of the playoffs doesn't necessarily mean that team is going to cover. We saw that yesterday and on Saturday. But having said that, Buffalo's played 2 strong games in a row now on national TV. New England, 20 guys that were on the questionable list as far as availability goes. They don't know. They're going to go with Cam Newton. They discussed bringing in Stidham, so not exactly a vote of confidence for Newton and not exactly a stable situation offensively for New England, and they're going to have Stephon Gilmore out. I'm not going to use this game, but I just can't go against Buffalo here in this spot. I mean, they've looked tremendous, like I said, in their last 2 national TV appearances, and I don't see that train slowing down here, Louis. So I'm going to have a small lean here on the Bills, -7.
All right, so Ross, I'm leaning on the Bills -7, and I'll get to my opinion here in a second. Let's see what Chip has before I get into mine. What do you got, Chip? What are your thoughts?
Well, the first thing, Louis, is I'm a little taken back by the fact that New England is a touchdown, even greater than a touchdown underdog at home. I don't ever recall having seen this in the last 20 years, the last 2 decades, because it's never happened. And it's generous points here. And, I don't know what Belichick is up to here. I'm looking toward New England. I'm looking toward the points. They're at home. They're coming off horrid performances. I mean, Cam Newton has had 8 games where he failed to throw a touchdown pass. And New England was basing their entire attack this year on the running game, and Cam Newton was the center of that. And now if they're going to change to Stidham, I believe is his name, the former Auburn quarterback, he never even got to start. Everyone expected him to start this season, and I guess Belichick had so little confidence in him that just before the season started, they grab a hold of Cam Newton, and we see how that's working out. But I think New England with Belichick there, and I'm wondering I know Buffalo's fighting really hard, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Buffalo win and come in under the number.
All right, a little bit the under, not expecting much out of Cam Newton. And actually, you're right, it's been about 20 years, Chip, except one time this year, New England was the big dog at home versus Baltimore, and they actually covered because it was 23-17. And so you have that scenario, Belichick getting them points at home. Hard not to jump on something like that. And the only thing I can see on this game, guys, is obviously the proverbial teaser for me. I do believe Buffalo will probably win the game, but something smells in this game. Something smells awfully bad. So I like New England on the teaser more so than the Buffalo side, getting them points in this game. Unless Buffalo really wants to seek that revenge, I don't see him covering the big number. So, it's going to be tough for me to back that. As far as the total goes, it's got steamed up from 44.5 up to 47. So they're playing the over. So, they're expecting Buffalo to put the points on the board. Everybody's betting Buffalo. The line moved from 4.5 to 7. If this game goes up to 8 by game time or higher, then I guess Buffalo, I got to believe Buffalo would be probably the play. So, but very tough game to make a decision on. So I'm going to grab the points in the divisional game with that home dog on Monday Night Football. Getting a lot of points, double digits with the teaser. So that'll be my role. So, all right. So now, hey, we got our the man who we thought he was. And I can't believe he's ready to show up today after Jacksonville on the money line. Cusimano, what are your thoughts here on this Bills-Patriots game? What's going on today out there?
Thank you very much, BettorCenter, your man on the street. I'm still in the Lone Star State here, talking a little NBA in a minute. But no, I'm a points guy. Of course, I was wrong with the double digits at home. But let's just recap very briefly here. Atlanta with the points covered. Of course, the Raiders covered. They were +2. The Cowboys +3 with the outright win. 49ers were getting points with the outright win. Anybody else? The Jets. So I'm a points guy, and I agree with Chip and with Louis Bag of Diamonds. In fact, the line moved through the night. It was 7.5 during when it dropped down to 7, but all the money's on Buffalo. It's telling me the Patriots are going to get to the money. I think Buffalo wins the game, again, I'll take the points with New England. I don't need to win the game. I just need to cover the spread. So that's where we kind of stand, as far as tonight's lone NFL game. Aside from that, guys, we're morphing in now to the NBA. Some teams are already up to 3 games, like behind me here. The Dallas Mavericks, their practice center. They're already 1-2 on the early season with a big crushing victory at the Clippers yesterday. Of course, that was a little bit of payback, I guess, from the playoffs and the bubble. They were ousted by the Clippers, as we all recall, back in August down in Orlando. And they're already talking MVP here for Luka. That's all I hear on the local newscast here. Luka this, Luka Doncic. Of course, he's got some weapons around him. Of course, they traded, if you recall, they got rid of Seth Curry. It's traded him to Philadelphia with that first-round pick and ended up with Josh Richardson, who's been a big plus here. And then they drafted the young kid, I believe his name is, he's from Stanford. His name was Tyrell Terry, the shooting guard. So they're going to groom him into the next Seth Curry. So the Mavericks actually come home and they open their season right here in Dallas across the street over at the American Airlines Center. They're going to be opening up against Charlotte on Wednesday. As far as that goes, we do have a few games on the board tonight. This being the giving season, I'm going to, as I always do, I'm going to give to you the double play of the day. Of course, we're going to go with New England plus the 7. And just a couple of miles north of me, a couple of 100 miles to the north of me, take OKC tonight, folks, plus 8.5 or 9 at home against the Utah Jazz. We don't need to win the game. We just have to cover the spread with OKC. Aside from all of that, Louis Bag of Diamonds, Chip, Ross, everybody, let's go into the new year or the Happy New Year here. I'm sure not to also mention, don't forget now, the Cotton Bowl is on Wednesday. I'm going to do my best to get back over to AT&T Stadium. We got the Cotton Bowl because of COVID. We have the Rose Bowl also here in Dallas, Texas, as well. So with that, you'll be seeing me here in the Lone Star State, over the couple of times here over the next week. And with that, guys, any NBA jibber jabber, any feedback here on any of the other games tonight? And of course, Denver hosts the game at home.
All
With the
right. Thank
Lakers,
you,
everything else.
Tony. Thank you, Tony. All right. So, my thoughts on the NBA tonight is you have, I like your thoughts on Oklahoma City as they are 14-5-1 versus the Jazz at home. Now we got them in a nice underdog situation. 4 straight covers for Oklahoma City. Guys, any basketball on your mind right now? I know it's early in the season. It's starting to get on my mind every day. And I'll throw it to you, Ross. What are your any basketball thoughts tonight?
Yeah, looking at, I'm going to give you a free play here in the Lakers and Portland game. The Lakers are at home tonight. They're laying 3.5 as we speak against the Portland Trail Blazers, a team they eliminated in the playoffs last year after losing the opening game in that series. They won 4 straight. This seems like an awfully low number to me. In regards to the Lakers in Portland here. I was sort of surprised the Lakers were more like a 5 or 6 point favorite here. Again, the Lakers will be playing their 3rd game in 4 days, while Portland will just be playing their 3rd and 6th. And I think that rest factor will come into play. And I also think this line is awfully suspiciously low. So I'm going to go with Portland here, plus the 3.5 against the Lakers, Louis.
I kind of like your thinking there, Ross. The Blazers, even though they are 3-11 versus the Lakers, the last or 3-8 the last 11 meetings, they are 21-8 in LA, and the under has hit 10 out of the last 13 games that they have met head to head. So I got a dog feeling in the NBA here tonight. Chip, you got any NBA thoughts that you can throw us today?
Yeah, I've got a couple of NBA thoughts, and I like what Ross is talking about here with that line being what it is. Anthony Davis was out for the Lakers. I think that's a key factor there. But like you said, Portland has played really well against the Lakers in Los Angeles. I think it is like 21-7 or last 28 against the number, though they only covered 3 of the last 11 overall, like you mentioned, Lou. I was looking at a college game. There's sort of my eyebrows were shall I say, perked up when I saw on Arizona. Colorado and Arizona are a pick 'em in a situation where since Colorado has joined the Pac-12, they've never defeated the Wildcats in Tucson. And yet they virtually have to win this game on the floor to get the money. So I'm thinking I'm a little suspicious about this. Colorado has an all-veteran team. They've improved, and Arizona under Sean Miller, I think that was his name, the coach's name. I have a tendency to transpose some of that stuff. But he has 5 brand new starters. They've won 6 games against 6 non-Division I schools, and the only time they played a Division I school, they lost to Stanford. And I know Ross had that game as a winner. So I'm going to play Colorado over Arizona tonight.
Chip, when those eyebrows stand up, we're getting the frequency is now. We're in that frequency. I believe you and I are in that same frequency with this one. I do have Colorado here tonight as well. I'm feeling the same vibe you're feeling there, and I believe it's going to be a winning vibe. So I like Colorado as a dog. I also kind of think it might be a dog night in the college basketball. So, Ross, college basketball, you gave us your NBA. Any college basketball thoughts?
Well, Fresno State at Colorado State. You got a Fresno State team that's 2-0 right now, but they face Division II opponents in both of those wins. Colorado State 3-1 right now. Their last 3 games all coming against Division I opponents. Their only loss against St. Mary's. In those 3 games versus division opponents, they've held each one of those opponents to less than 36% shooting. This is a veteran Colorado State team that has 4 returning starters. And those returning starters, remember last year, where they easily defeated Fresno State in both meetings by double-digit margins. I'm going to take Colorado State here, minus the 10 over Fresno State.
All right, Colorado State. The home team has covered 9 out of 11 games, and the favorite 11 out of 15. So a little bit of Colorado State love for Mr. Ross Benjamin. So guys, we've kind of covered the board here today. We've got you with kind of mixed opinions on the football game, and Ross small lean on the Bills. Chip actually has a play at BettorCenter.com for this. So Chip actually pulled the trigger on this. I came back with a little bit of Bills teaser, but probably more of a Patriot teaser. But like I said, if you want somebody that's really pulling the trigger on this game, that would be Chip. He's the one that feels like he's got the nuts. So he's put it out there. It's on BettorCenter.com, and it's only $39. And Chip is 24. Chip, what are you, 24, 29 and 14, is it? On those standalone games?
Yeah, we've had a good, the standalone games, we're at 65% right now. And
I mean, that's sweet.
We're doing very well with them. I passed the Sunday night game, but I have a play tonight.
All right, so there you go. Chip's got that play for you at BettorCenter.com. And don't be afraid to get out there and show a little love. And we will be back with some more love for you tomorrow. I assume you've gotten the most interesting plays out of these guys. Anything you guys want to give us right before we leave? Any interesting plays on top of what we already talked about?
Yeah, I just want to remind the viewers and listeners, I'm coming off a 7-3 weekend at BettorCenter.com. That's combined in the NFL, the NBA, and college football. So coming off a tremendous weekend, I will have a play tonight in the NBA, and you can find that at BettorCenter.com.
Awesome. Thank you for loading up that shopping cart and making the offers out there. How about you, Chip? Any famous last words?
Well, Monday's got a light schedule, and we've got the NFL. Of course, that game's posted. We mentioned our college basketball, and of course, with the NBA, we're going each and every day. There's a trio of games out there. The Portland game is one of them.
All right. There you go, guys. Listen, sports are getting hot and heavy now. We got NBA. We got college basketball. We have football wrapping up over the next month, and then we'll have hockey coming back in. So going to be plenty of action for us to get you information on. So please subscribe below. Join us next time here on BettorCenter Live. Hey, guys.